Welcome back to our homestead. We have a recipe for you today, and it's this carnivore dough. Now, we've been eating the carnivore diet for about 4 months now, and we really enjoy eating this way. But like many people who eat carnivore, it can get really tiresome, and sometimes you're just searching for variety. This is a dairy-based recipe, so if you don't eat dairy, it's obviously not going to work for you. But if you do eat dairy, it is a really great treat. And it does contain baking powder. I think sometimes baking powder can be a little bit harsh for me personally, so I can't eat this too often. But having this just every once in a while so that it feels like you're having some carby, warm bread, if that keeps you on track eating carnivore, then that's personally what I would choose to do. So I just wanted to preface that it is dairy based and it does have baking powder. This is not our recipe, however, we have tweaked it a bit to suit our needs and do the things that we want it to do. And Sophie actually filmed this for you, and I think she did such a great job because this is a recipe that she found, which is another great tip. I've had a few people ask about feeding children, not just carnivore, but whole foods in general. And I think something really obvious, and I've heard a lot of other moms say this too, is let your kids come into the kitchen and make the recipes or make up recipes or find their own recipes. And I find that to be really helpful because my kids, especially my two older girls, love to cook and bake. It's just a creative outlet for them. And when we started eating carnivore, we began with a fairly strict way of eating. We were just eating pretty much ground beef and salt and butter and cheese. And that got old really quickly. And my girls, if they lamented over anything, it wasn't necessarily eating all the things that we had eaten before, but rather it was their ability to get into the kitchen and be creative. So this is a great recipe that you could be creative with. We've used it to make rolls. We've also made them a little bit bigger and used them as hamburger buns or cheeseburger buns, and those held up really well. And then this, wrapping them up around the sausages, this is the first time that Sophie tried this, but we had these pre-cooked sausages. We had cooked them the day before and we needed to use them for supper. And normally we would have just eaten those sausages with some cheese and butter. But this time she decided to make this dough and film it for you. So I hope that you enjoy this video. A trick with this dough is that because it's milk powder based, it's really sticky. So you can't just pick up a glob of it and start forming it into a bun or forming it around your sausage like this. A tip that we found is that having a little cup of water next to you, dip your hand in the water, get your hand wet, and then form the dough how you want it. It is a really sticky mess, but it might be fun to do with kids, sort of like playing with Play-Doh or something. They could make their own little shapes if they wanted to, or wrap it around, like a cooked burger or sausage or a hot dog or something like that. And it just adds a nice variety to a pretty restrictive diet. Another note on by the way, I apologize. I'm trying to remember all these things that I wanted to share about this recipe. The recipe itself, the measurements that we use, I'm going to write that in the comments of this video so that you could just take a screenshot of it and then try the recipe yourself. But I do want to credit the original author. So I'm going to find her recipe and I'll put it down into the description and you can go check hers out as well. So here they are. They're going to head into the oven. But I did want to share this milk powder that we buy because I've had several people ask about it. Here's a picture of it. It is in Canada, and I believe Jeff bought this online on Costco online, but I'm going to just clarify that with him, and I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. Milk powder is just one of those things that we have on hand because there are a lot of really cool things that you can do with it. I also make flatbreads, and I'll link a video at the end of this video to that recipe showing how I make flatbreads with it. So anyway, that's it. This is what they look like. It tasted really good. It held up really well. And I hope that you guys try the recipe out. I hope you maybe get creative with it, and feel free to leave us a comment, let us know if you made it, how you liked it. Also, just any ideas or suggestions. So thanks for watching.